Welcome to Lit Apple, your home for English literature and art education.
Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're doing something really exciting. We are demystifying SEO. We're going to completely break down the complex, heavily algorithmic world of search and get you ready for a massive evolution in how things are actually discovered online. We've got a lot of ground to cover, and the landscape is shifting faster than ever, so let's just dive right in.
But before we get into the weeds, I want you to stop and think about how artificial intelligence is fundamentally shifting how your content actually gets found online. For years, the go-to strategy pretty much began and ended with basic keyword research. But it turns out that outdated approach is rapidly losing its grip. It just doesn't reflect how modern search engines evaluate what we read, watch, and ultimately buy. So, here is our roadmap for today. We are going to look at 1. How search actually works. 2. The end of keyword stuffing. 3. Fixing the technical foundation. 4. Winning the local search. And finally, 5. The shift to GEO.
Okay, Section 1. How search actually works. To really grasp this, we've got to strip away the magic and look at what a search engine is actually doing behind the scenes. Because, spoiler alert, it's not just instantly scanning the entire live internet the second you type in a question.
Think of it like a massive global library. First, we have the crawl phase. This is where automated bots travel the web clicking links just to discover new and updated pages. Then comes the index phase, where the search engine actually parses and stores those discovered pages into a colossal database. And finally, we have the rank phase. So when a user types a query, the search engine searches its index and sorts the results based on relevance, quality, and search intent.
Right, so that's your traditional pipeline. Crawl, index, and rank. But the most critical piece being added today? That's AI. Search engines are increasingly leaning on sophisticated machine learning systems to understand true search intent. They aren't just matching words anymore. They're genuinely trying to figure out if you want to learn something, buy something, or just navigate to a specific website. Moving right along to Section 2, the end of keyword stuffing. Let's look at why those old tricks for manipulating search engines simply do not work anymore. It is actually pretty fascinating to realize that Google employs human search quality raters all over the world to evaluate actual effort and originality. Back in the day, people relied heavily on keyword stuffing, repeating a target phrase as many times as humanly possible. But today, if you try to use generative AI to just crank out generic fluff, search engines easily recognize that unnatural pattern, and they will absolutely penalize those pages. So, modern search relies heavily on user behavior. Systems like NavBoost actively monitor how users actually interact with your page to judge how helpful it is, while TrustRank looks for strong signals of credibility. This basically means your writing must prove it was guided by real, human expertise and designed to provide direct utility. That's what we call people-first SEO. Having an authentic voice, using localized data, and showing transparent process documentation, those are the new benchmarks for trust. Which brings us to Section 3. Fixing the technical foundation. Because listen, even the most human-centric, expertly written content is going to remain totally invisible if your technical architecture is broken. It's kind of like having a priceless masterpiece hidden away in a locked basement. When you run a proper technical audit, you want to focus on impact. You have to ensure search engines aren't being accidentally blocked from indexing your priority pages because of things like broken redirects, mixed canonical signals, or just a confusing site structure. Sometimes a huge drop in traffic isn't actually a content problem at all. It's a technical issue quietly suppressing your visibility. Things like index bloat or conflicting tags can seriously dilute your ranking signals. And hey, here is a highly practical scroll-stopping takeaway you can use right now. Always ensure your meta descriptions, those short summaries you see in the search results, are unique, compelling, and kept under 150 characters. Doing this helps users quickly evaluate how relevant you are before they even click. All right, Section 4, winning the local search. For the everyday business owner out there, we really need to look at how these broad technical and content concepts apply directly to your physical community. Consistency is absolutely key here. If your local NAP citations, that stands for name, address, and phone number, are messy across different directories, search engines are going to lose trust fast. And your category selection? Huge. If you select a super broad category like services instead of something specific like pet grooming, search engines will really struggle to match you up with local queries. You literally have to tell the algorithms exactly what you do. And that brings us to Section 5, the shift to GEO. This is really the climax of our explainer. We are looking at the revolutionary transition into the age of AI search. We are shifting from search engine optimization to generative engine optimization.
GEO fundamentally moves the goalposts. Large language models, or LLMs, don't just retrieve web pages anymore. They actually synthesize direct answers for the user. Instead of exact keyword matching, they analyze natural language using semantic search. It's sort of like grouping similar concepts together mathematically on a map. Because of that, conceptual clarity and completeness matter way more than just repeating a specific word.
Traditional SEO actually fails quite often in this new environment. AI models tend to just ignore old-school backlink castles. Instead, they favor factual, well-structured content that survives a process called Retrieval Augmented Generation, or RAG for short. RAG pulls relevant, real-time documents to prevent AI hallucinations. So if your content isn't logically framed and explicitly precise, the AI simply won't select it to answer a user's question. No way around it. To survive this massive shift, you've got to explicitly fill in the blanks for these AI systems using schema markup. This is basically structured data added directly to your HTML code using formats like JSON-LD. Think about a product image on a web page, right? A human instantly knows it's a DeWalt handsaw, but you have to explicitly label it for the machine using schema markup. This creates a semantic data layer, a connected knowledge graph that AI models can instantly parse, interpret, and most importantly, trust.
Ultimately, the future of search absolutely rewards quality over quantity and credibility over manipulative optimization. Misinformation and thin content are being filtered out more aggressively than ever before, which leaves you with one critical question to answer for your own digital presence. Is your content built merely to attract clicks, or is it structured to be the trusted, machine-readable answer that AI systems actually rely on? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I really hope you leave today ready to build a stronger foundation for our AI-driven future.
If you enjoyed this exploration of literature and art, please like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the bell icon for updates.